The smoke detector, an invention that has no doubt saved thousands of people from the cruel fate of suffering from a painful and truly miserable death at the unforgiving hands of fire. Hello, my name is Clayton Collins, and you're watching Clay's Corner on Fire Technology, Channel 103. For the next few minutes, I'd like to take you on an informative journey through the history of the ionized smoke detector. We'll start our journey in the 1930s with the invention of the very first smoke detector, and slowly work our way back to the present following the evolution of this amazing and truly wonderful invention. It all began in 1935 when Swiss physicist Ernst Mealy decided that he would try to create a device that would warn miners of a fire or the presence of combustible gases.
I have it!
Up to that point, the mining profession was by far the most dangerous and deadly occupation in the United States. Miners constantly faced the very real danger of explosions and fires deep in the belly of the earth. After 4 years of experimenting and hashing out new ideas, Mealy finally created his masterpiece, the very first ionized chamber smoke detector. The only problem with his invention was the fact that it was unable to sound an alarm. Over the next 12 years, Mealy worked to fix this problem, and he finally did so in 1951 with the invention of the cold cathode tube detector. This device amplified the small electronic signal generated by the detection mechanism in his ionized smoke detector to sound an audible emergency alarm. Beep, beep. These new and improved detectors revolutionized the mining industry, as mines with Mealy's detectors reported significantly less deaths and injuries due to fire than those that did not install the detector. Mealy's detectors not only took the mining community by storm, as they also began to infiltrate the commercial industry. Warehouses and factories, plagued for centuries by fire losses, began to install ionized detectors to protect employees, equipment, and merchandise. By 1960, ionized detectors had become a common sight in commercial buildings. However, they did not begin to enter homes until the 1970s. In fact, ionized detectors were not produced or made available for residential use until 1971. Residential detectors definitely did not fly off the shelves, as they cost approximately $125 each.
Oh, look at these fine curtains, aren't they? Or something else. Let me take a look-see at the price. Only $300? What a bargain. I can see
Dad,
it. Yes,
Dad,
Skip.
look what I found. I found this it's a detector. And can we buy it? 'Cause
Well, you know what,
I'd be
Skip,
safe.
say no more. That would have been very nice to have in the fire that killed your mother and young sister.
You killed Mummy?
Let me look at the price. $125? Skip, your life's not worth that much. Go put that back. We're not made out of money. Who do you think I am, bloody William Henry Harrison? I'll take these curtains, though.
Due to their high costs and lack of public recognition, only about 1 million residential detectors were sold between 1971 and 1975. This all changed, however, in 1976, when a technological improvement reduced detector costs by 80%. Scientists found that the cold cathode tube used to initiate the alarm in Mealy's detectors could be replaced by a less expensive solid-state circuitry. In addition to reducing costs, the solid-state circuitry significantly decreased the size of ionized detectors, making them more appealing to the masses. This advancement boosted residential detector sales to over 8 million in 1976. In 1977, ionized detectors were improved even more as the installation of new, more energy-efficient alarm horns allowed detectors to operate using common battery sizes, such as AAA and AA. Prior to this time, detectors required hard-to-find and expensive battery sizes to operate. This advancement helped to increase ionized detector sales to 12 million in 1977. Over the next 30 years, detectors and sales have continued to improve. Improvements in the circuitry made it possible to monitor both the decrease in voltage and the buildup of internal resistance in the battery, either of which triggers an audible beep beep signal to replace the power source. The new generation of detectors could also function with smaller amounts of radioactive source material, and the sensing chamber and smoke detector enclosure were redesigned for more effective operation.
And that brings us to today. Mealy's ionization chamber smoke detector has certainly evolved since its invention in 1939. The detectors of today are 1/5 the size of Mealy's original. They are more efficient, more sensitive, more reliable, yet they still operate using the same principles that made them the most popular model. Beep!
Well, would you look at that? We only have a few minutes left. And in the time remaining, I'd like to invite my personal friend and renowned scientist, Vladimir Krasny, to the set. Vladimir, thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here, Clay.
Right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground here today, but I think we've left one very important piece of information out so far that our viewers would be very happy to know, Vladimir, and that is just how do these smoke detectors work? Can you enlighten us a little bit?
Well, Clay, the ionization chamber smoke detector is the most popular residential and commercial on the market today. Not only because it is the cheapest model, but also because of the speed that it displays in recognizing a fire and signaling an alarm. Ionized detectors employ a radioactive material, generally americonium-241, which is a source of alpha radiation. Anyway, the americium ionizes the air in a sensing chamber, or in layman's terms, it gives an electrical charge to the air entering the sensing chamber. The sensing chamber is basically an air-filled space between two electrodes. This chamber also allows a small constant current of air to flow between the electrodes. Any smoke that enters the chamber absorbs the alpha particles, which reduces the ionization and interrupts this current flow of setting an alarm.
So basically, what you're saying is that ionized detectors sense the smoke from a fire because it changes the electrical charge in the detector's chamber. Is that correct?
Stupid!
Fascinating stuff, Vladimir. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. But I want to thank you very much for joining us. I want to thank my friend, Vladimir Krasny, for being here. I also want to thank our reenactment team and our producers. Until next time, I'm Clayton Collins. And remember, don't play with fire. It's not a friend of anyone. Unless you're using it to make marshmallows.